Welcome back to the channel, my friends. Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man, and today we're taking a look at this week's Sunday preview. This video is sponsored by CMO Games. More on that later. Sunday preview for December 18th, 2022. Countdown to Christmas with a king, a crown, and some classics. There's just one week left before Christmas, but the Warhammer community never sleeps. There's a fantastic schedule of releases and reveals still to come in 2022. Get into the holiday mood by watching the rowdy video of the Goth Rockers hit single, Here We Go. So if you haven't seen that, they did like a little video for the Goth Rocker. Pretty cool. There was like some kind of like Easter eggs in there as well. If you haven't picked out your perfect Warhammer gifts yet, there's still time to pop into your local store and fill your arms with plastic cheer. Alas, for many countries, the online store's Christmas shipping deadline has already passed. But if you're in the UK, you still have a few hours. Today, the 18th of December, is the last day for UK shipping. James Workshop has all the details. So we have the Warhammer Age of Sigmar, Abhorrant Ghoul King with Crown of Delusion. So I'm actually a big fan of this model. Now, not necessarily for gameplay. I think him sitting in like a throne doesn't really make sense for like moving around the battle and everything. But as far as like actual collector's model, you know, painting him up, displaying him, I think this model is awesome. The sword is super cool. He looks just like the actual regular Ghoul King. I kind of like that he has like a casual handrest skull. The crown itself is pretty awesome. The throne. Definitely a fan of this thing. I like it. It would be fun to paint. And I do like that it's basically the same sculpt, just a different position than like the regular Aberrant Ghoul King. Now, again, though, is anybody going to pick this guy up and throw him in their warband or their army? Probably not. Maybe for some, like, cool kind of thematic game or something like that. You know, you got to get to the boss at the end. But actual model in a chair, in general, probably not the best. Come, dear squires, sit on the king's knee and tell him what you want for Christmas. If it's flesh, then good news. This year's Christmas commemorative series miniature is a regal Aberrant Ghoul King, ready to dole out Yuletide cheer to his chivalrous knights. This awesome miniature will be available to pre-order from Games Workshop web store from the 7th of January, but if you pop down to your local Warhammer store, you'll be able to get one on Boxing Day. It's a perfect use for all those gift vouchers you'll receive on Christmas Day. Alright, and then on to Warhammer 40k. We can't let this year's celebration of the 35th anniversary of Warhammer 40,000 pass without one last hurrah. And some of the most iconic Angels of Death from yesteryear return to a made-to-order basis between the 25th of December and the 2nd of January. Alright, so we have the made-to-order Space Marine Commander. So this guy is an OG. You know, the thing about these MTO, like old-school models kind of coming back is they hit real hard for certain people. There's certain people that are like, that nostalgia appeals to, and then there's just everybody else. So for me, I'm not nostalgic, especially with like old Warhammer models. Honestly, all the new stuff looks exponentially better. I know that's a hot take from some people, but like this guy compared to the Space Marines that come out now, in my opinion, this guy's complete trash. So there's one and only one reason to buy this model, and it's pure nostalgia. You know, maybe you're a collector, and maybe you had him when you were younger and times were good, so you want those good times to come back. So you figure buying this Space Marine model will help. I personally don't see it, but I do understand, and I have heard back from the community that a lot of people do get excited about this. I also like the idea of this bringing down prices in the secondary market. Say you were really after this guy, like you shouldn't have to go on eBay and pay, you know, $70 for him. So if you can MTO him from Games Workshop for like 35 bucks or whatever, sure, it's expensive compared to what they were when they came out. I think for Games Workshop too, it's super easy because they already have like the molds. They're just like, oh, okay, 1,000 orders came in, run off 1,000 of them and then throw it back in storage. So it makes sense. This versatile plastic commander comes with a load of options. Choose between 5 guns, 4 melee weapons, and some accessories. Then spruce up your other Space Marines with all the bits you'll have left over. So like me personally with that Space Marine Commander, back in the day, I basically just converted all the extra bits into like 3 more like cool characters, which is neat. And you don't really see that the same way with a lot of characters now where you get like a ton of extra bits. So then we have made to order armor through the ages. So this is something that they have done countless times over the years, but it's basically just a bunch of the different styles of armor. Again, all these models, in my opinion, are just absolutely horrendous. They look terrible. A lot of like the Horus Heresy new versions of these same armor sculpts are like really cool. But obviously these look absolutely terrible. This is clearly Mad Max inspired. It looks literally like something out of a Mad Max movie. Which, this was, I think, like early 90s, so it makes sense, right around that time. Relive the history of the Adeptus Astartes with a set of 5 resin Space Marines wearing different marks of power armor, from the legendary Mark I Thunder pattern through the patchwork Mark V Heresy pattern. These can be used as part of a regular tactical and veteran squads if you want to strut your retro style in the 41st millennium. Alright, and then we had the Made to Order Space Marine Captain. So this one looks much better. This is actually like a pretty decent sculpt, and like relatively, I think it's aged relatively well in comparison. So I could see the appeal of something like this, maybe a little bit more, because it's not like full on archaic. The classic plastic miniature goes to the extra mile with a phenomenal helmet and back banner. He also comes with an alternative unhelmeted head in case the beautiful transverse plume makes it hard to look left and right. So yeah, cool model there. Made to order Lord Executioner. For some reason, I feel like they just made to order this guy. Wasn't he part of like the character pack not that long ago? Wasn't he part of that character pack not too long ago? I need to lop off heads at high speed. The Lord Executioner is a resident Space Marine captain who burns across the skies with his jump pack and power axe, delivering deadly blows to the enemy before they know what hit them. And now a quick message from this week's sponsor. This video is sponsored by CMOgames.com, where you can get 15% off most Games Workshop pre-orders, and they go live right at midnight Saturday mornings. CMOgames.com offers free shipping on orders over $25 in the US 48, and most orders ship within 24 hours. CMOgames.com has been selling Games Workshop products online for more than 20 years, and customer service is their top priority. CMOgames.com carries the full line of Games Workshop products, including 40k, Age of Sigmar, Kill Team, warcry, paints, hobbies, and tools. Visit CMOgames.com using the affiliate link in the description below so they know you heard about CMOgames.com from Warhammer Man Studios. Now, back to the video. And then we have Made to Order Heroes of the Chapter. So this is basically just a plastic, easy to build tactical squad. And then you have a banner bearer and 2 different lieutenants. One for shooting, one for combat. It's okay. This was all just stuff from the Dark Millennium set. Overall, nice looking models, good looking sculpts and everything like that. If I'm not mistaken though, when they put this out last time, it was like 85 or $100 for this, which is pretty pricey. Now, I guess if you look at it and say, well, if you bought the 3 characters individually, they would be $35 a piece. So that's $105 right there. And then you get a free intercessor squad. I guess, I don't know. I'm pretty sure last time it was overpriced. But if you are after these models, they're definitely some cool models. And whether you like easy to build or not, if you do, these are great models for easy to build set. Return to the dawn of Dark Imperium with these Heroes of the Chapter. This set of plastic miniatures includes 1 Primaris Ancient, 2 Primaris Lieutenants, and 5 Intercessors, who together form a solid core for any force. Alright, then we have Made to Order Chaplain with Jump Pack. This model has held up relatively well. He looks okay. Fiery Sermons at 100 miles per hour? Sign us up. The classic Chaplain with Jump Pack is a great way to get your litanies where you need them. So yeah, actually not bad. Honestly though, I prefer a bike myself. Jump Pack's always nice for a Chaplain though. And then we have Made to Order Librarian in Terminator Armor. So this guy holds up okay. He's definitely still got like kind of like the stub factor of the Terminators. Really would like to see them redo some of these Terminator kits for Space Marine range, as they are pretty dated at this point in time. Especially when you compare them to like some of the super cool stuff that's come out since then, like the Death Guard Terminators or Thousand Suns, or really just any of the Chaos Terminators. Shield your body as well as your mind with a suit of Terminator armor for your librarian, ensuring your null zones and smites go off without a hitch. This is the first time the plastic miniature has been available on its own for quite some time, so pick one up now before it's gone. I think you can still get this in the Combat Patrol for Grey Knights. Then we have Made to Order Masters of the Chapter. So yeah, I feel like they just made to order these guys not that long ago. I understand they're like cycling them out, and maybe I'm wrong on this one, but I feel like it was only a few months ago these guys were back on the Made to Order line. So overall, cool poses, decent execution. The picture they have used is like blurry. I'm not sure why this is the best picture that Games Workshop has, but very interesting. Add some extra fancy Space Marines to your collection with the Masters of the Chapter. A band of resin characters perfect for representing captains, lieutenants, and particularly distinguished veterans. You know, I got to give Games Workshop props too. For a while now, I have been busting their chops about not just telling us if stuff's going to be plastic, metal, or resin. And over time, maybe like a month or so ago, they started putting the details in these Warhammer articles, and honestly, got to give them props for it, because it's really nice to know, hey, you know, it might be a deal breaker if this is resin or if it's metal, or maybe it is a, you know, auto buy if it's plastic. So very cool that they're including that. Obviously, the deal breaker for me. I hate resin. So made to order Tech Marine. So the Primaris Tech Marine is super cool and a really nice kit. This guy's not bad for being so old. Overall, got to give it to him. This is a nice model. Held up relatively well. This chunky lad bulks up with a hulking servo harness, turning a humble Tech Marine into a walking arsenal of arms and armor. An extra flamer, servo armor, and plasma cutter give him plenty of extra punch in battle, just in case your vehicles are all shipshape and some heretic heads need knocking together. So not bad here. I think, in my opinion, the main reason you would ever take like a non-Primaris Apothecary or Tech Marine or something like that is basically if you don't have the points and you have to trim it out. So you like losing a wound, potentially like an attack, depending. Overall, though, not a big fan. I guess realistically, though, too, if you were trying to transport them in an army with like rhinos or something like that as well, that's definitely a factor. So, but overall, not a bad model. Of course, I do give them props for stating what they're made of. And then, of course, this one doesn't actually say. I'm pretty sure this guy's going to be resin, because he was originally metal and then they redid him in resin. So I'm assuming this guy will be resin. And then we have some Black Library 12 Tales from Christmas eShorts subscription. So pretty cool if you're into some Black Library Christmas themed stuff. There's still time to join Black Library for the festive calendar of action-packed short stories, featuring tales from fan favorites, authors like David Annadel, Mike Brooks, and more. The latest story, Richard Strachan's Shadowglass Creek, lands today and follows witch-hunting duo Galen and Doralia Vendenst on a hunt of chaos cultists in a newly found Sigmarite city. This subscription gets you 12 new short stories for the price of 10 and will be available until the 9th of January. So the 12 for 10 deal. Wow, Games Workshop. So that is it. Basically, one new model and a reprint of a bunch of others. Overall, not bad. You know, it's the end of the year now. Not expecting a bunch of new stuff to be shown off or come out. Obviously, going into the beginning of 2023, there's lots of stuff that's already been shown off that we're looking forward to. I think that's when the real excitement will hit. I'm not really sure the Games Workshop wants any extra stuff on their plate at the end of the year. They probably have a lot of year-end stuff going on, trying to work out logistics and whatnot. So makes sense that they're just kind of re-releasing stuff, MTO, and then also this special edition store model, which again, pretty cool. Probably not the best for actual game terms. So that's it for today. Let me know what you think. Always like to hear back from you guys. Are you one of those nostalgic players that really looks forward to them bringing back these old models and picking them up to either paint or store? Or are you more into just the new stuff? And one of those people that says, everything's bigger and more detailed now. I would rather have the fresh sculpts. I always like to hear back from the community. Obviously, happy holidays and Merry Christmas to everyone as we get closer to the end of the year. We'll do a wrap-up video for 2023. And also special thanks to CMO Games for sponsoring the videos. That's it for today. Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man, and I'm out of here.